Anytime you analyze these genocides, look at these kind of incidents of mass violence, whether they be in India or in Africa or even in the US, the discrimination that was taking place underlying that violence had been happening for many years prior to that.
To address the complexity of structural discrimination often requires a holistic approach. ICAAD invokes international law, technology, and art, bringing in disparate voices to kind of combine those voices into one kind of powerful movement that really address the most difficult of issues in society.
Looking at what are the discriminatory factors that are in place that allow the majority community to commit that violence against the more marginalized communities.
With ICAAD, we do the research. You want to know not what the government says, but what the people say. Then we want to see what the government response is.
We have all these different groups of minorities sort of working for the same thing, if you look at it broadly, working towards anti-discrimination, working for more inclusive legislation.
Combating actual legislation, helping write proposed legislation, really looking and monitoring the case law within those countries.
Having laws isn't enough. You then have to have judges who are willing to interpret the law in a way that's fair and equal.
Using technologies that are in the hands of a growing number of people, for example, mobile phones, in some cases online or through the internet, or using digital mapping, it might be possible to get a better sense of where discrimination and violence against particular communities is happening.
So not only is the technology used for data gathering, for analysis and kind of really watching for trends, but also to keep the dialogue going virtually. That would be support from those other law students and the lawyers that are working on this pro bono, connected with the NGOs and the people on the ground.
The legal level is one way of having impact, but no matter how good a law we have, if it's not adopted on a grassroots level, change will not really happen in communities.
Art takes what is a very complex issue and viscerally makes it accessible to a mass audience.
Because that's really a medium that communicates across languages, across cultures, and uses local talent to bring structural discrimination issues to light.
They have this important role of being the person who's determining public opinion and values for their communities.
You can pass laws or you can create, international global conventions on things, but unless they're actually contextualized in different countries and people have rights and they know what their rights are and that they can't claim those rights.
What it boils down to at the end of the day is helping empower vulnerable communities so that they can lift themselves up and really combat these issues head on in their own countries.
We can be separate from each other, like a Jewish person working against discrimination might not see much identification with a gay person working against discrimination or for equal rights, but we can really build off of each other's movements when we work together.
When it comes to being hungry, when it comes to wanting to have a peaceful, safe environment, when it comes to wanting the streets to be clean, these sorts of issues, they apply to everyone regardless of which God or no God they believe in. And coming together around those issues can be really powerful and really effective.